Atley Hamlin with RealAgriculture, and I am joined here by Edgar Hammermeister, a senior agronomist, the senior agronomists with Western Agriculture. How are you doing today?
I'm doing very well.
So we are at the Soils and Crops presentation here in Saskatoon, and you did a presentation on your guys' soil analysis systems and the kind of recommendations that you guys make to farmers based on trends in previous seasons. So can you dive into some of your guys' the process that you use for this analysis and stuff like that?
Yeah, so what Western Ag uses a different type of soil analysis. It uses an ion exchange resin membrane called the Plant Root Simulator Probe. It measures the plant available nutrient supply rate, and it's a supply rate over time, so it's not a concentration. We sometimes like to describe it like doing a horsepower rating of your soil. And then that data for our consulting, farm consulting customers, we put that into a computer model that we do all our crop planning through that model.
Awesome. I really like that analogy, the horsepower rating of your soil. So can you dive into some of that summary that you presented based on the kind of drought that we saw in previous years and then kind of what we saw over the 2022 season?
Well, so I started off with an overview because weather has not only an impact on yield potential for our crops or how yield is developed, but it also influences how active the soil is. And so I gave just a 3-year kind of a summer and fall comparison, and that this year focused on the previous year, the drought of 21 and the implications of. And so I did a data summary for nitrogen, phosphate, potassium, and sulfur. And the big interest really is on the nitrogen and the type of, there was the farmers certainly would have been aware with a drought to have had, there was residual nitrogen. But something that they're less aware of is a nitrogen mineralization potential that builds in the soil. The longer the soil dries and the drier it gets. And it's sometimes called the Birch Effect, but it's a drought-induced mineralization burst that becomes stronger, again, the longer the soil dries and the greater the soil organic carbon content. And for how we process the soil at the lab, if soil samples are coming in particularly dry in a dry fall, we do a pre-wetting protocol that can trigger this Birch effect that will happen naturally in the environment come spring melt and April rains. This mineralization burst will occur. We're just triggering it a little bit early. And the implication for the farmer being able to understand what the mineralization potential is it can be tens to hundreds of pounds of nitrogen supply that is not necessarily observed in a conventional soil test.
Awesome. Thanks for diving into that process for me. Where can growers get access to your guys' services if they're interested?
Well, very simple. Google grow more profit.
Awesome. Thank you so much.